What's good, everybody, and welcome in to Koffee with Tia, episode 5, a TProductions special, a talk show where we get up close and personal with Second Life talents and creators. I'm your host, Tia Merchant, and in today's show, our guest of honor is Marcus Lefevre Enimo. Marcus is a proud owner of MUSU organization. He is also a web designer at Neo Japan and Gabriel. I also have another exclusive giveaway on offer for you guys. MUSU is kindly sponsoring 5 of my subscribers who like, share and comment their legacy name on YouTube or Facebook 1,000 Linden worth of gift card each for their store. So make sure you don't miss out on this fantastic opportunity, you guys. Also, a big shout out to Lofton Aria for sponsoring the furniture and the setup for today's show. So without holding you up any further, let's welcome in Marcus Lefevre Enimo. Welcome in, Marcus, to Koffee with Tia. We are very excited for you today and look forward to know more about yourself, and also very curious to learn the insights into the pageant and fashion industry of Second Life from yourself.
Tia, thank you very much. Thank you for the invitation, and I'm very glad to be here.
So Marcus, tell us a bit more about yourself and the organization you run on Second Life, please.
Well, I suppose most people know me as the owner of the MUSU organization, produce the MUSU and Mr. SL pageants, Avistas competition every year, and I do fashion shows for Lefevre Magazine SL or for the New Japan SL event and other clients. Privately, I would say I'm 44 years old, just turned 44. Live in Germany. I suppose you can hear that with my thick accent. I'm in Second Life now since 14 years, and I started as a land agent, and then I managed the estate with 2,000 regions. And after 6 years I changed that to the fashion industry, to the modeling and fashion industry, and have started that with MUSU organization. It got a little bit bigger and more popular than I personally thought it would become. But I'm enjoying producing the shows and also working with the models. It's giving me a lot of pleasure, I would say.
Very well. I love the way you have switched your jobs and trying a new, different business on Second Life, from land agent to now a fashion pageant owner. So have you always been attracted to the fashion industry, or have you always have inclination towards the fashion industry? What really sparked your interest to enter the fashion world on Second Life? And is there an incident in real life or Second Life that you would like to share with us, please?
No, in real life I have nothing to do with fashion at all. I have worked in the estate business for so very long, almost 6-7 years. I thought something was missing in my Second Life, and that was especially creativity. Before, I was selling land and I had to be available 24/7, and it was very demanding. I didn't have the ability to enjoy Second Life any at all. So I went out and thought there must be something more. Came then to the Angel Manor. That is 12 Sims estate here in Second Life. Got to know another organization, and they produced a pageant back then. I was then invited as a judge. Found this so very interesting. A year later decided that I want to do something like that myself. With the help of a few friends, I created then MUSU organization, and MUSU 2015 was the first pageant that we did, and have then repeated every year. MUSU, the same year we have created Mr. SL as a pageant too, also repeated every year, and then 2017 we got additionally the Avistas competition. I have learned in that time a lot of things. Producing a show is something I like to do things very particular way. Graphic design and how to build mesh stages, and then the whole organization says for myself. We have the models coming, joining our fashion shows. They are also entering a learning process when they are entering a competition. That is also always very fascinating to see. You can basically watch them grow. Made me until today stick with MUSU organization, and that is actually worth it to do it. In real life, I'm just a very normal, regular guy. Nothing much to do with fashion.
That is very interesting, Marcus. And just like your example, I believe as Second Lifers, we learn and grow so many of the skills which we never thought we had in real life. And Second Life gives us that perfect platform to practice and develop ourselves. And I keep on hearing about these pageants that Miss SL organization does, and it's so inspiring for the residents looking for pursuing modeling or entering the fashion industry of Second Life. I also have come to know that Miss SL organization provides a lot of support to models who are looking to pursue their career in modeling and entering the fashion industry. So tell us a bit more about what support and help you offer to the new models.
Oh, that's very kind of you, thank you. I never expected it to become huge, I would have spot. We have also quite a number of candidates who are joining us every year again. Shows me that the candidates have enjoyed their time with us and that their time valued when they are in our competition, rather than if they are participating and at the end of the competition didn't know what they have actually done. We are also offering workshops, meeting the candidates and give them some basic tools how to walk on the runway, feedback, so I'm going to meet the model, talk with them about the outfits they have composed, poses they have used in the shows, then to come every year back, and I find this is the biggest compliment that you can get from a model.
It definitely is a compliment, and models coming back and returning back to you in your organization, it really speaks volume in that. So tell us, Marcus, a bit more about what goes behind the scenes, like when organizing a runway show, when organizing a fashion show, what really happens, the lineups, and I'm assuming it's very chaotic, or correct me if I'm wrong, how do you work?
It is not, it is very different actually. It is also very small. My understanding that is also the key to the success, if you will. I have a team that is Rissa Bellissima and Venom Zanzibar with me now since 6 years, and they are, I like to call them the backbone, or my backbone. There is nothing happening in the organization without the both. And we have developed over the years a way to organize our things very, very particular. Try to have everything very, very, very organized. And if you notice, for example, our shows start on time. When I say I begin a show at 10 a.m. SLT, you can be sure that I'm beginning at 10 a.m. SLT and not 5 minutes later. So it is very particular organized, and that is something I'm also very proud of. But it is that team in the background that makes that sure. We have also Xuro in our team. He's my senior executive assistant. He's one of the previous winners. And then Hikaru is helping me a lot in the background too. And that's basically it. That is the core team.
I agree with you. Having a strong core team is the key to success, and also team working. So when all together bring up their skills and in coordination, I think any show is perfect then. And I've personally been to your shows, and it is absolutely flawless. So tell us about the core team responsibilities. How do you delegate those responsibilities to the people, and what do you do as part of the running of the show?
Well, it is very simple. Lisa is basically doing every kind of paperwork that comes out. She is also the runway director. Venom is the chief hostess for the local chat, and she's also assisting with the paperwork. Who is the one who's helping me to put the outfits together for fashion shows, for Leon or for Neo Japan or the other clients we have. Items we are getting, and then he puts it together into outfits. Hikaru basically helping me with everything else that is needed. He has also the privilege to select at least half of the judges that we are asking to be judges in our competitions. Bigger networks than I have. What is left to me, I'm doing the stages. I'm building the stages, preparing the show script after Venom actually does that for me, and then I put it together, put the show script together, hosting the shows, using the music, support the models whenever they have a question, when they need something. Experience that I have been able to collect in the last 7 years.
Wow, 7 years surely is a long, long time to nurture a business, grow a business, and learn and develop on your own as a new skills and and persona as well. So, from the knowledge that you have with the fashion industry on Second Life, would you say the real life fashion and the Second Life fashion are quite similar, or would you say that there's a difference with what people choose to wear on Second Life and then real life? More in specific, how they style themselves, what they prefer really.
I came to the point to say Second Life fashion should be different than real life fashion. People who believe that Second Life fashion has similarities to real life fashion, and I personally think that is utter nonsense. I don't know how detached someone has to be from reality to compare Second Life fashion with real life fashion. That is absolutely not comparable. In my humble opinion. Because this is a virtual world, there are many people who have interests in fantasy. For example, in our competitions, when I need to think about new challenges for the candidates, it needs to be interesting. And I've made the experience, if I stick to pure fashion topics, it gets very boring, and people are just not interested. They want to have fantasy inspired topics as well. Be some balance actually. This is elements that are only available in Second Life.
Absolutely, real life fashion is completely different to what Second Life fashion has to offer. We can do a plethora of things in Second Life. You can become a different personality, you can become a different avatar and live your life like that. So I completely agree with your viewpoint over there. And since you're more into Second Life fashion and you know the ins and outs of it now, can you please talk to us what is in vogue right now on Second Life? What is in fashion? What is hot on trend on Second Life?
My husband would know that better than I do, to be frank. Baggies are coming back for the men. I saw in the last half year, I would say, that our big coats have been very popular in the last winter. If they are returning in the next winter, I don't know.
Okay, that's something to look out for, and thank you for sharing with us that. Speaking of runway fashion, I have personally been lucky enough to attend one of your shows for Beatrice Serendipity, and I think it was a beautiful tribute to the late model. So please talk to us about what sparked your interest in having such a show as a tribute to the late model. Was she very close to you? What really got you thinking that you want to do a show tributed just for her?
Beatrice Serendipity, yes. She was a very popular model, and she sadly has passed away last year. Many of the models came to me and requested that we do a tribute show. I'm glad you have been able to see the show. I think it was beautiful actually. Well, that was one of my previous winners, Mrs. L 2018, Diana Bellios, who was very close with Bea. She came to me and asked about, and I have the tendency, well, I told first I was not sure if I would be able to do it, because our schedule is basically pretty packed with the competitions and with the fashion shows. End of the year decision that the Mrs. L and Mr. SL pageants are not happening this year because I got a little bit busy in real life, which I have to take care for. They are resuming next year though. Here I got a little bit space in my schedule, and so I said, well, Sienna asked for it, and I say I do something, then I actually try my best to actually do it.
Completely. I think right there you showed us the community spirit that Second Life holds, the community spirit that the fashion industry, modeling industry holds, that no one is really forgotten. If you are within the grid, within the industry, each one of us is remembered. Each one of the models are equally as important and has a space, in the industry, in the organization. So I think that was a lovely tribute, and I absolutely enjoyed it. I think the designs were showcased was from the GHEE fashion, it's in the GHEE store, I think, if I'm not wrong.
Bea was the founder of GHEE. The first part of the show we showed designs from GHEE. Bea had created the second part. We had them a little bit more challenging. That was then paper couture and animal couture. I think there were a number of extraordinary outfits this time.
Thank you for that, Marcus. And I completely agree. The show was flawless, as you mentioned. It started on time and had a lovely, lovely time. Perfectly coordinated. The designs were extraordinary, and the timings, the interaction, the whole ambience was very, very enjoyable and very elegant as well. So I totally enjoyed myself. Thank you for that. Oh yeah, not to mention the after party was absolutely lit as well. So speaking of you organizing the pageants for Mr. and Mrs. SL as well, so tell me about the management style for both these shows. Are they different? Are they same? Do you have the same core team? Do you get a similar response from the males as well as the females, or do they have a difference in opinion there? Any difficulties in management style there? Please talk to us about the behind the scenes of what goes on between these two pageants, please.
Mrs. L pageant generally is tougher. Mrs. L pageant runs from January until May, including the auditions, so that's 5 months. Mrs. have 5 runway challenges, 2 photo challenges, then there's the finalist presentation and the grand finale with again 3 runway challenges. And they also have live interviews, and that schedule is really, really packed. And the misters, usually we would begin with auditions in September, and then would finish with the grand finale in December with 3 runway challenges, also 2 photo challenges, and the finalist presentation. Grand finale again with 3 runway challenges and the live interviews, but it's basically shorter and it's not as tough as the misters. 1 week before. So let's say we have 1 week, not even 1 week. When we have the challenge show on Saturday, they would get the challenge description on Sunday, on the Sunday before, and then they have basically 4 or 5 days to prepare the styling, to prepare the poses. That is, I believe, a misconception that many new residents have when they join Second Life and think, I want to become a model. Real life model, you get everything provided from the agency or from the designer, and you just don't have to do anything. You just have to wear it and look pretty. But in Second Life, in pageantry or as an agency model, you have to style it yourself. As an agency model, you might even get outfits from designers, but in a competition it is a whole other thing. When you get the challenge description, that is what you are left with, and then you need to style something from what you have in your inventory, or you need to buy something. And that within 4 or 5 days. There are poses as well. That I believe that is, if anyone wants to sign up for a competition, they need to be very, very aware that that is all very time consuming. You need to have time, you need to be sure that you actually have the time for that. Ideally, it needs to be flawless, because that is what brings you the point. If you have any flaws in your outfit or in your poses, that is going to cost you points. I never expected Mrs. are a very tougher competition. Competition between the ladies is tougher. The men, the guys, when they join us, they see it more as fun, as something to do in between, as a fun event. But the ladies are very competitive. Yeah, they can get very harsh with each other.
I totally agree, and I believe it's so much stuff out there for women. It certainly does get very competitive. We will continue our conversation with Marcus for the part 2 of this episode. So stay tuned, hit that like and subscribe button, and also don't forget to comment your legacy name for a chance to win the giveaways from MUSU. I will see you in the part 2 of this episode next Thursday. Till then, stay virtual and God bless.